Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Diddy's sinister secret being exposed. But before you begin, I just wanted to let my Patreons know a new Patreon exclusive will be dropping later tonight. If you go to sleep early, you can expect it in the morning, as I will be working on finishing this video all day until later tonight. So if you're a Patreon, make sure you check the video out later tonight. Also, a quick reminder to subscribe to my second channel, Truth Network, so you don't miss any new content coming out over there. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. If you know anything about how the music industry works, then you should already know it's a crooked industry. The things that happen behind the scenes will make the average person second guess being a part of this industry. Time and time again, we see examples of just how sinister the music business truly is. It's alarming what some of these artists have to do to make it to the very top with all that power and fame. In this industry, you only get far by showing your loyalty to the gatekeepers. Everybody knows that the industry is controlled by gatekeepers, and if for whatever reason you try to go against them, not only is your career over, but in some cases, so is your existence. Joining the music business is a lot like joining the mob. You can make a lot of money if you do as you're told, but the moment you don't want to comply or the mob boss doesn't like you anymore, you're out of here. This is what the hip-hop gatekeepers are known for, controlling the industry and eliminating anyone who they feel threatens their power. One of the industry's most powerful gatekeepers is no other than the hip-hop mogul Puffy Sean Diddy Combs. He is one of the most successful men hip-hop has ever witnessed. Diddy has been running the game since the 90s and is tied to one of hip-hop's most legendary rappers, Biggie Smalls. This cemented Diddy as hip-hop royalty early on, which eventually led the way for him to become one of the most powerful gatekeepers in hip-hop. Diddy is one of the few men who can break or make a person's career. He is also one of those gatekeepers who is known for allegedly getting rid of anyone who threatens his power. I have made a few videos about Diddy in the past where I showed plenty of evidence that proves Diddy likes to play dirty. He is willing to do anything to maintain his power and to keep things the way he wants them to be. Something Diddy has been allegedly doing since the 90s and still going on to this day. If you have been on social media for the last few days, then you should already know that after 27 years, a man has finally been arrested in connection with the murder of Tupac Shakur. Tupac, who was one of the 90s biggest rap stars, was taken out back in September 1996 after being ambushed in a drive-by style attack after leaving the Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas. For the longest, the story was that Tupac was taken out because him and his crew had jumped Orlando Anderson, who they spotted during the Mike Tyson boxing match and had a previous beef with. After Orlando got jumped, he got his uncle Keefe D and two others to jump in a vehicle and hunt down Tupac. They quickly spotted him, and that's when they unloaded into his BMW, taking Tupac out. This was the story that most people believed. Tupac was taken out because he was trying to be a tough guy with some real gang members. But was this really ever the reason? For 27 years, the police weren't able to make an arrest of any of those responsible for his passing. But just a few days ago, that all changed. A couple days back, Keefe D was arrested for his involvement in the crimes against Tupac Shakur. After it appeared the case was forgotten in time and those responsible would never see justice, this all changed when Keefe D was taken into custody. Like I already mentioned, Keefe D was the uncle of Orlando Anderson, who is believed to be the person who took Tupac out. Orlando Anderson passed away a while back, which kept him from being arrested for the crimes. Keefe D, on the other hand, is still alive, and he was in the car when Orlando took Tupac out, and according to him, was the one who handed Orlando the piece used to take Tupac out. Keefe D, for the last decade, has been doing interviews, revealing interesting information about the truth about what happened to Tupac. What Keefe D has said has gotten him arrested 27 years later, something he avoided years back by working out a deal with the police when he revealed Orlando Anderson took out Tupac. He also revealed that even though a fight had broken out that night between Orlando and Pac, they decided to take Tupac out for an alternative reason. According to Keefe D, the real reason they decided to eliminate Tupac that night was because there was $1 million bounty on Pac's head, a bounty that was allegedly put on by no other than the gatekeeper P Diddy himself. According to Keefe D, who was connected to Diddy because his Crip gang worked as his security in LA, Diddy offered Keefe D $1 million, which is equivalent to about $2 million in today's money, to eliminate Tupac. Keefe D also claims that someone allegedly connected to Diddy was the one who gave him the piece used on Pac the same night Pac was taken out. There are a few reasons people think Diddy wanted Pac out the picture. One being the obvious fact that Biggie and Tupac were rivals at that time. Two being that Pac allegedly was messing around with one of Diddy's baby mothers, Sarah Chapman. According to Keefe D, who mentioned this in many interviews, Diddy allegedly called them after Pac was taken out, asking him if that was their work. Basically, he was asking if Tupac was taken out because of his alleged bounty. It is believed that afterwards, Diddy allegedly paid out the money through the middleman who gave Keefe D the piece that night. This middleman then took the money for himself, leaving Keefe D with no payment for the job. This angered Keefe D, who now has a vendetta with Diddy, as he feels Diddy never took care of him for doing the job. What Keefe D revealed has been echoed by many other people around the situation as well. Diddy's ex-bodyguard said the same thing, and so did Suge Knight's bodyguard. Even the detective Craig Kading, who was investigating the case back then, said the same exact thing. Keefe D has been doing interviews for the last decade, snitching on himself, knowing he can get arrested for it. People think Keefe was only doing this because he thought he had immunity in the case, which he didn't. He signed a proffer agreement that allowed him to speak on his knowledge of the crime that happened to Tupac on that night. This agreement would protect him from being prosecuted against for anything he stated that would have incriminated him during the interview. Keefe D never had immunity, and I don't think it's the reason he has been snitching on himself. I believe Keefe D is just mad and bitter over the fact that Diddy is now a billionaire and is on top of the world, while he's lost everything and is now in his last decades of his life with nothing to show for it. I believe he wanted to go down just so that he can take Diddy with him. Now is that we're really going to see the power of Diddy. If he doesn't get arrested just like Keefe D, you already know why. I believe Keefe D has been trying to snitch on Diddy this entire time. For the last decade, Keefe D has pointed fingers, elbows, and even toes in Diddy's direction, repeatedly telling multiple outlets Diddy paid millions of dollars for the hit. For whatever reason, now is that something is happening, but why? Could this have anything to do with Diddy turning on those above him? Recently, in June 2023, Diddy got into a disagreement with the owners of the liquor brand Ciroc, a brand that Diddy has been the face of for as long as I could remember. In June, Diddy sued the owners of Ciroc for racial discrimination after he claimed they treated his liquor brand, De Leon, like an inferior black brand. Since then, the two have had a massive fallout, which has cost Diddy hundreds of millions of dollars. Isn't it strange that now that Diddy is locked in a legal battle with the owners of Ciroc, Keefe D got arrested for a crime that Diddy is being connected to? What a coincidence, ain't it? After all these years, even though Keefe D was straight up snitching on himself and Diddy for the entire time, this just so happens to be the year he gets picked up for it. The same year the elite above Diddy are having trouble keeping him in his place. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. If Diddy does finally get taken in and questioned for this, then you know why. Those above him are getting him out of the way for not falling in line. If Diddy miraculously solves his issues with Ciroc and never gets picked up by the police, it means he fell back in place. We know the elite like holding things over people's heads they can use when they fall out of line. What all of this revealed to me is that Diddy is definitely a gatekeeper who doesn't have issues with eliminating his problems. If Keefe D and all those other people openly claim Diddy got Pac taken out, I'm pretty sure that that's the case. So now, when we look at what I'll Be Sure said happened to Kim Porter, you see that it's more than likely that it's the truth. Back in 2020, I'll Be Sure came out and claimed Diddy was the one who allegedly took out his baby mother, Kim Porter. He claimed that Diddy took her out because she was having issues with Diddy and was going to expose his darkest secrets that would have ruined him. I'll Be Sure claims that Kim felt that Diddy was going to eventually take her out. Kim Porter passed away in her sleep from pneumonia, but many believe this was just a cover-up and Diddy was the one who was truly responsible. If you were to ask me, I think anything is possible when it comes to Diddy, especially when we know what he has done in the past. Diddy is proving to be one of the most dangerous gatekeepers in the industry, a man with no soul who is known for his disturbing ways. Not only is it alleged that Diddy robs his artists and eliminates those who gets in his way, but it's also alleged that he likes to have his way with men artists in the industry. Many people believe that Diddy is into men just like he's into women. There has been rumors of Diddy having upcoming artists doing something extra for him in order to get a favor from Diddy. People have pointed out his behavior around artists like Usher and Justin Bieber, two artists that Diddy hung around when they were young, as an example of his strange behavior. I even reported in one of my previous videos that his former bodyguard came out and exposed Diddy, claiming that he was doing things with Ja Rule. This isn't surprising to me at all, as many occultists are like Diddy. They believe love is love like Aleister Crowley taught. This is why the industry promotes the Lil Nas X agenda so heavily. The gatekeepers in the industry are into these type of activities. Diddy got to the top by messing everybody over and eliminating his problems. This is what Keefe D is revealing, and the world is finally waking up to. Technically speaking, both Biggie and Tupac are gone because of Diddy. It was believed that after Diddy got Pac taken out, Suge Knight retaliated by having Biggie Smalls taken out. Both Biggie and Pac were taken out in the same way as well, which is even more ironic. This man has made billions while his artists end up broke or gone. Recently, it was reported that Diddy was giving back publishing rights to his former artists. In the media, people were praising Diddy for giving his artists old publishing rights that he stole from them years ago. While this publishing for most of these artists isn't really worth much nowadays, it still seems like a good gesture from an evil man. Usually when a man like Diddy offers a deal like this, there's always a catch. This is what his former artist Aubrey O'Day from the pop group Danity Kane revealed. Aubrey claimed that Diddy was only giving back the publishing to artists because A, it ain't worth much, and B, because he is having all the artists sign a document that would prevent them from talking bad about him and his record label.
Should I ask you the golden question?
What's the golden question?
Nothing. You keep mentioning Diddy. I want to ask you about I just saw the whole with Bad Boy. He gave the rights back to a lot of Bad Boy artists. Any comment?
Yeah, I'll talk about this.
The floor is yours.
This banner that he's painted himself with all weekend long has been the Labor Day talk in my world, that he's paying back all of the Bad Boy artists. I just want to throw you the facts, okay?
Sure.
The deal that we were offered, and when I say we, not every artist got it, but this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after Puff went under, somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums, $15 an album. On 2 million albums is, what is the math on that? 48 million? Yes. $48 million somebody made on me. I did not make anything. When the deal is, when this benevolent man who's now had a change of heart and decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds, okay? And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Jan Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
Essentially, he is trying to bribe his artists into not being able to expose him. He is bribing them with publishing he stole from them long ago, which takes evil to a whole new level. This is the way Diddy became a billionaire, by robbing everyone blind and taking advantage of his artists. They say that every dog has his day, and I wonder if Diddy's day is coming. Will he end up just like Suge Knight, locked up in a cage, paying for all he did? Or will he once again find a way to snake his way out of this? This is the sinister truth about the music industry so many are willing to sell their souls for. This is what all these artists are so desperate for, to be robbed, taken advantage of, and even taken out by a gatekeeper like Diddy. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.